On this video, I am going to have the pleasure of doing an installation of the new ATOTO S8 Premium dash here. It's like a double din, right? I think some people call it double dins, but this pretty much is going to be the next mod here for my wife's car. As much as I want to put one on this car or that car, they both already have screens in them. This one doesn't, and actually this is going to be a perfect upgrade for my wife's car, because this one does a lot of things that we're going to benefit for our little babies. He's over there back somewhere. There he is. But yeah, so you can do like Netflix, YouTube, and a bunch of other stuff. She doesn't have a way to connect her phone via Bluetooth to her stereo, and with this she will be able to. So this right here, this is one of their newest items, is a S8 Premium. Now I'm pretty familiar installing stereo kits to cars. I've done it since I was like 15. Whenever I first bought the Eclipse, which is back there, I installed a stereo on that. It wasn't the best job, but you know, I learned, and then I got one installed on this one. And then I got a little subwoofer and amp installed on this one. As you guys know, the Supra that I built for my wife, that one I did the whole thing. This one I haven't done anything because it came with it when I bought it. But anyways, let's go ahead and get down to what's in this kit here. So of course you have the unit, the S8 unit here, and this right here is like a little trim piece. This is the USB cable, so you're gonna run this from the back, and you can hide these cables somewhere like in the glove compartment. You can connect some USBs here, like USB drives. This, I believe this is the antenna for the Wi-Fi. No, this is the antenna. I think this is the GPS antenna. This is gonna be the GPS antenna. This is the Wi-Fi antenna. This is the mic. These are the plates that go on the side of the stereo. The harness. I believe this is for the camera, but I think this is for the front camera. Actually, it says right here. Yeah, for the front camera. Now that's what comes in the kit here for the S8. Now this box here is going to be your rear view camera, which is also from ATOTO. Now here you have a harness. These are your RCAs. They connect to the harness, and you're going to mount this little camera on your rear plate with this adapter right here. And there's another fitting. I believe this is to adjust it. So on the rear camera, I'm not too familiar on how to install them, but I don't see it being too complicated. I mean, especially after I've wired up basically an entire car from the front to the back, I don't see how I would struggle with this. So this should be pretty simple. Now, this is just standard stuff you get in their kits, right? Now this here is something I purchased separately, which is specifically for this car. This is just a stereo harness, and these are the little plates that you put on the side just to make sure that it's like a real clean install. See? So there's no space. You bolt these onto the side and it just looks perfect, like factory. If you guys have a 2011, 2012, 13 Scion TC, this is where you're gonna need. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start off by first wiring up the two harnesses together. It's pretty easy. It should be just matching up colors. And then once I have the harness pretty much all ready to go, I'll go ahead and jump into the car and take that apart. Alright, so this is the harness here. It's real quick. It's very easy. All you got to do is color match everything and zip tie the wires that I will not be using. Now these wires here that you guys see, they're still out. This is for the antenna and the amp. Now, since I do have an aftermarket amp on this one as well with the factory amp, I need to make sure I can't remember how I wired it up, but I think I need to tie that signal for the external amp onto these as well. So I have left it open until I take that apart and find out for sure. So we'll leave this here. Let's go ahead and get started on taking the car apart. Alright, so if I remember correctly, all I did was just pry on here, pull this back, and it should pop right out. Oh, right. There we go. And yep, it's just one connector. Now I think this is a 10 millimeter. Let me go get myself a socket here. It is a 10, so let me get these out real quick. All right, now let's pull this factory one out. All right, let's get all this stuff disconnected. And there's that. So we see here we have the RCAs from that box that I have in the back, the antenna. Then you got your factory plugs. I believe we're only going to be using 2 of them. I think this is the one that goes to, I think this is like the USB stuff. I've seen that they have like an adapter for this, so that way you can keep on using this, but we'll do that later. Now before installing it, we do have to transfer these plates here to the other unit, and then we'll be good to go. Alright guys, so I got those plates installed. I got the little spacer adapter things installed, and as you guys see, looks perfect. Now just one quick thing about those little plastic pieces, these right here, you do have to cut these, you do have to cut the ends off. It's a little bit too long, but there it is. Now let's get the harness installed, get this thing plugged in and make sure it works, and then I'm gonna run the wiring for the rear camera. And there we go. It only fits into these 2. This plug here is for this dash piece. This one, not sure what that's gonna be used for, but we're not using that anymore. So let's tuck that down there. And this is gonna be the antenna, the RCAs. Like I said, I believe this is for the USB stuff, which we won't be using anymore. So we're gonna tuck this back, get this out of the way. All right, makes it for a pretty clean setup here. Not much to it, a lot easier than other cars that I've worked on. So let me get all this stuff plugged in, turn on the car, and make sure everything works. All right, you guys see there, very clean setup. Now let's throw this in here. Let's set it in there the way it's gonna be. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if I got everything done properly. Oh boy. Did I fail? There you go, it's powering up. Need a little tap there. I'm sure it takes time to power up and go through all the settings. So let's see here. All right. Looking good. Oh, damn, that's freaking awesome. Oh. Now that I know that it works, I can go ahead and continue and install this stuff right here, which is the USB harness, the GPS, and the antenna here. So let me get that installed. Well, actually, let me go ahead and show you guys how to do that. All right, so for the USB here, you have 2 of them. One of them says external storage, the other one says phone link. I'm assuming this is where you're gonna be able to plug in, kind of like the way the car had the factory plug. And you just run the harness here through the back of the dash, and you just plug this into the back. Very, very simple. All right, you guys, now for the mic, I ran, if you got a Scion TC, this is probably the easiest way that you're gonna do it. I installed it here, so that way it's not in the way of any of the air. So whenever, if you are using, like if you are taking a call with the mic, you're not getting interference with the vents. So I ran the wire from here down through here, crossed over behind the cluster and into our stereo area, and the plug is right there. Now you do have, the wire's pretty long, so you got a lot of excess, so I'm gonna go ahead and just tie it up. So the Wi-Fi antenna plugs in right here. It's very, very nice. This thing swivels around, so it's easier to maneuver. Now the antenna, I went ahead and stuck it right up here. Let me see if I can show you guys where it is. So there's the antenna, there's the wire, right? This is the wire for the antenna. You follow it, and then I stuck it right there. Hope you guys can see it. I'm turning on the light here. So it comes with double-sided tape, and you just stick it there, and that's pretty much it, you guys. The install is, as far as the wiring, it is all done. Got this wrapped up. The antenna wires are all wrapped up. Is really, really clean. Honestly, compared to other stuff that I've done, this is very, very easy. The only thing that's left is this wire here, which is for the rear view camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the harness over here so I can run this wire down through this side and at least finish all this up, and we'll move to the back. All right, guys, so I got the camera harness, at least the front part of the harness ran up to the front. So this is the wire that I need to plug up to that pending wire over there. Now this right here is something I did not remember. I thought I was gonna get the power signal from the rear, but it comes here through the front. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tap into the one on the stereo, and that will be done. So yeah, totally forgot about this one, but not a big deal. All right guys, so I got the harness here all hooked up, got the wires ran for the rear view camera. This plug right here, this is actually for the front camera. There's a plug on the box that has one RCA. You plug it in there, it comes out. I'm not gonna be using that, so I'm gonna leave that empty. Now I thought I was finished, and then I realized that I had plugged in the Wi-Fi antenna into the GPS antenna. So then I was like, holy crap, there's still one more thing I need to install, which is the GPS antenna. I'm telling you guys, this ATOTO unit is really equipped. It comes with everything. So let me get this installed, and I should be able to put everything back in and finish up here. For the GPS antenna, I placed mine right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. It is right there. I stuck it here, and we're pretty much all done. So the Wi-Fi antenna is in place, the GPS antenna is in place, mic is ran, RCAs are connected, harness is done. Yeah, everything's ready to go. Just real quick, you guys, as you guys see, everything's real clean, everything fits back there. It's not really too much wiring. I mean, it looks like a lot, but it really isn't, especially for everything that it comes with it. But now let's go ahead and put this piece in, and we're all done. That looks really nice. Damn, I want one for my car now. I wish I had one of these for the truck. Now let's make sure I didn't mess up anything while I installed. Oh crap, where's your wipers? Damn it, everything's going crazy here. All right, still works. All right guys, so when it comes to a rear view camera, the wiring is easy. I mean, wiring is really not much to it. As you guys see here, you got two RCAs, you got a power, and you got a ground, and that's it. The problem is running the wires. See, if it was something like the Supra or the Mustang, actually no, even on the Mustang it would be difficult, but let's say it was something like the Supra where the license plate is on the bumper. That's easy, super easy. You don't know when it becomes a real pain when it's on the hatch. So that means I gotta run the wires up through there, through that grommet, up and into here. So that's gonna be just these wires here, but then I'm gonna need a trigger wire, which is what basically turns on the camera and when it goes into reverse, and you're gonna get that from the reverse lights. So that means I gotta run wires through here, there, all the way up, and then another wire to here for the signal. So it's a bit of work, but let's get busy. All right, so now without these plastics on here, it's a lot easier to see what I'm trying to tell you guys. So as you guys see here, I got the plastics removed. So I gotta run the wires up through here, and then I gotta run some down to here. So I know I'm gonna end up having to cut this harness in order to fish it through that. It sucks, I didn't want to do it, but it is what it is. So I ran the wires up through here, slithered my way through all that. I was able to pull the harness through the grommet, up and over. Now I did have to cut it, because there was absolute no way I was going to be able to fit all this through that tiny little grommet. So I did have to cut it. I went ahead and connected every single one of them back together. There's 4 wires. I'm going to do another sleeve over it, and then another sleeve over that. That's this one here. And we should be all set to continue wiring. The rest is easy. That was the most difficult part. Now again, this is for a silent TC. You guys may not have to do all this. So I'm not going to act like I know everything. I had everything ran. I ran all the wires, ran it all back here, tied it into the reverse light, and the camera wouldn't go on. I got the camera mounted, but it just wouldn't turn on. So then I was like, man, you know, I even went ahead and disconnected this wire here. That wasn't it, because I figured I'd run it with a thicker cable, but that was definitely not the problem. And I'm not gonna act like I know everything, but this is a learning process for me. I've never installed a rear view camera before, and it was just one simple mistake. It was this right here. So I had plugged it on this. I had plugged this one right here, and actually goes on the center. It goes in where it says RCN, and there we go, camera's on. So let me tidy all this up, and I'll get back to you guys with the finished product. All right, just like that, the car's back together. Everything is done. camera is right there. So we're gonna come in here. Just in time, my wife and my kids are fixing to head out, so they're gonna enjoy this baby real quick. What's up, Papa? All right. So we got the stereo come on. Can put it in reverse. And there we go. I gotta flip it. You got a mirrored version and stuff. Actually, I think it's upside down, so I gotta turn the camera upside down. But you guys see it. It works. So as you guys can see, the camera is installed properly. I had it upside down before, but now it's you know, the way it's supposed to be. And I'm sure you guys probably saw this whenever I was unboxing everything. This right here, this is I guess you would call it like an aligning mat. So you're gonna lay that down, and that's what you're gonna use to make sure that the camera is actually perfectly centered. So first we have to get the car into reverse, so that way the camera could come on. And if I remember correctly, we're gonna tap 5 times and then once on the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then center. Actually, no, that's not it. I think it's 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there you go. So this right here, this is your calibration for your car. So you're gonna put the dimensions of your car, how big it is, but basically you're gonna use this to move the camera and make sure that it's centered on the lines. Now, you do get the instructions with the kit, so it just takes a few minutes. It's not too hard. You just lay this out, make sure there's no wind, and calibrate it. And then at that moment in time, it'll be all done. Now, I did want to show you this. Actually, let me go ahead and move the mat out of the way. You guys see that it was covering the camera, so you can see the reverse lights are on. As you guys can see, that is my Supra in the back, and right here, that's my Supra, but from the top. So what the camera does, you'll get the rear view, kind of like a fisheye lens type deal, but then you get this top view. So whenever you start reversing, you're gonna be able to see not only what's behind you, but you're gonna be able to see it from the top. So as you're backing up into, you know, as you get closer to the car, you're gonna get a good idea of how close you're getting. So let's see if we can try this out, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right. So as you see here, we're backing up. And you guys see that? That's the actual, that's like representing your car and how close you're getting. So that's gonna give me a very good idea on how close I can get before I hit my Supra. But it's my Supra, so I'm not gonna get that close. But you guys get an idea. It's a pretty good system, very, very nice. So if you guys are interested, there's gonna be a link in the description for both of these kits. We've used it for a few days since it's been installed, and absolutely love it. There's a lot of settings for a lot of different things. I'm sure we probably discovered half of them. So yep, good stuff. And he approved, he liked it, so we're good to go.